joining, and hopefully you're going to see some really interesting stuff. I'd like to start by thanking, thanks to the Catapult for all the work they've been doing on supporting the Modernising Energy Data Applications projects, but also to all the projects who have really been working hard over the last 3 months to bring their projects to this point. So I'm really excited to hear what they've been up to, what their findings have been, and to see the early prototypes, and I hope all you are as well. For the portfolio projects, they're funded under a wider program that we run called Prospering from the Energy Revolution, which is really looking at how smart local approaches to integrated energy provision across heat, power and transport can deliver better benefits for consumers in terms of costs and decarbonisation, but also to help those local areas prosper and create business opportunities as well. So we've been funding a number of really large-scale projects, which are the design and demonstrators across cities and regions in the UK. But we've probably got around 150 organisations or more which are directly being funded through the programme at this point. We're about 3.5 years into the 5-year programme, so we're really starting to get to the business end of things now. There's actually a showcase event going on this week as part of Net Zero Week, where a lot of the learnings from those projects are being shown, but we're also touching on some really important areas like the investment and finance mechanisms for achieving net zero in local areas, the regulatory and policy issues and barriers that we've discovered, and how we might be able to work through them as a community. So I'll drop the registration page for that in the chat, and if you want to drop in and out of any of those events through the week, then I would strongly encourage you to. Back onto MedApps. So we've been working together with Ofgem and BEIS to deliver the Modernising Energy Data programme ever since the Energy Data Task Force recommendations were delivered a couple of years ago. And the starting point was to deliver what we termed a common data architecture, which would improve the interoperability and accessibility of data across the energy sector. That has been delivered by an organisation called Icebreaker One under the Open Energy project, which is coming to its fruition with a private beta delivery at the moment. And the Modernising Energy Data Applications projects, we're really looking at how we start to utilize that architecture to be able to integrate data from various different sources and deliver real world solutions to problems that people were experiencing across the energy system. Phase 1 have been 3-month projects, which are combining the sort of discovery and alpha phases of software development. And they've been running for the last 3 months. Each of the projects that you'll hear from over the next few days have been awarded up to 150,000 in funding to really look at their initial problem definition, understand their user needs and the communities that they need to engage in really well, and start to create a framework of an early prototype. And that's what you'll be hearing about today. In the next phase, these 9 projects that we funded are going to be whittled down to 3 through this process. And then they'll be funded to take their alpha prototype right the way through to a public or private beta over the course of the next 9 months and receive up to £420,000 or so. Very briefly, I'm going to touch on the wider data strategy that we're working on. So we really believe that data access and use is going to be key to unlocking many of the challenges that we face for delivering net zero. And it's really important that we start looking not just within the energy sector, but across the energy sector and combining some of the silos out with energy to help other sectors be able to achieve net zero. And also that we work across public bodies, that's government departments, regulators, etc., so that we can create a more agile ecosystem for innovation and hopefully accelerate some of this work that businesses are delivering. I'm not going to read through all this, but this just highlights some of the really important things that have been worked on over the last few years as part of the Modernising Energy Data Programme with BEIS and Ofgem, from the task force through to the open energy architecture delivery. We've also had the energy networks implemented in their digitalization strategies, and Ofgem have put data best practice into license conditions now. Richardson, along with Laura Sands, is now delivering the energy digitalization task force, which is where we're really looking at how do we move on from data access to actually delivering digitalization for the energy sector. So that's going to be a really important initiative to kick things on further. And shortly, the energy data strategy that we've been working on with Ofgem and BEIS will be released as well. So there's an awful lot going on. And I think actually we're right on the cusp of creating some really exciting stuff for the sector and really starting to achieve the digital transformation that we've been speaking about for a while. So please engage with the projects, ask any questions, and I hope you enjoy the session.